just days. And when I say this, I'm not kidding you guys. It was Sandy. You heard the conversation. A week before Mike passed, he called me.
It was right before the Bud Nationals, actually.
It actually was. Well, no, it was not. It was right before race season started.
Oh, okay.
Right before race season started. And Mike calls me and says, "Hey, Bud, how you doing?" I said, "I'm doing well, Mike." I said, "How are you?" And he says, "Well," he goes, "we're going through some complications down here," and kind of talked about the cancer that he had been diagnosed with. And he said, "So what we're going to do is," he goes, "we're going to fight this thing." He goes, "We're going to beat it." He goes, "I'm heading down to Arizona. There was a specialist down there that was highly recommended, and Mike was, he was going to the best of the best because he was the best of the best, right?" Head down there, and I don't know what happened in that short amount of time, but all I know is I saw a post that instantly, it bothered me to the core. It still does, but I saw the post, and I just froze, and Sandy knew right away something was wrong. Mm-hmm. Tears welled up, and I choked up, and I just looked at her, and I said, "Mike Moshier passed away." And to this day, it bothers me because our last conversation, Mike was so positive. He sounded so strong. Didn't even sound sick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just like, I'm not kidding you guys when I say it might have been 2 weeks. He was gone.
My conversation with Mike was much of the same. He let me know, "Hey, I'm going to go take care of this stuff. I'll be back. Anytime you want to come out to the track, come on out. Mi casa, su casa. We'll have some fun." And that was the way it was. And then the next thing you know, I get a text message, and it's, "Hey, look on Facebook about Mike." And I saw it on Facebook, and at that time, I believe I was on my way down south to go race my RC cars that week because we had an off week here in Santa Maria. I didn't even make it to Camarillo. I turned around and went back.
Well, I remember the first night in the booth as race season started here. That was heavy on my mind, and it was hard.
Yeah.
It was truly hard to get through that first show, just thinking about, because I was, Mike's conversation was, I cannot wait to work the Budweiser Nationals with you again. It's always a great deal. We have a lot of fun. He goes, "I love your energy and your passion," and then he's gone.
Well, and that was the first year that I went down there with Corey and Mike was after he passed, and so I was not fortunate enough to be able to meet him before he passed away.
Well, I'll tell you something.
But
to know Mike Moshier was to love him. And that's just how it was.
Everybody down there, and of course we do Bud Nationals every year now. Everybody down there just carries his spirit. He must have been. He must have been
I remember,
an amazing man.
Sandy, your first year at the Bud Nationals, like you said, was the year after Mike passed, and we had got down there, and they had renamed the Budweiser Tower as now the Mike Moshier Tower. And they had a big banner on there, the Mike Moshier Tower, with Mike's face on it. And I can remember standing. I kind of got away from the whole crew. And I don't know who it was. Somebody snapped a photo.
I did, actually. I snapped a photo of you. Yeah, standing underneath the tower. And actually, if you go onto Moxie Media and you go onto the photos and you actually probably search
it's
something.
Still there.
Yeah, it is there.
I can remember being there for the Bud Nationals.
Yep.
Hold on. Getting there and standing at the bottom of those grandstands and looking up and seeing the big Mike Moshier Tower was hard.
Yeah.
Getting in the tower and seeing the picture that they had placed of Mike and sitting in his seat using his microphone to announce the biggest race was, for me.
That was the toughest thing for me.
Mike Patterson and I, and I'm not kidding, I say we sat there speechless with tears in our eyes because of what
and am I? Now, Corey and I, as talented as you are, Corey, and as semi-talented as I am, how am I supposed to be able to? How am I supposed to be able to grab a microphone and do what a man of 20-plus years and many decades of race knowledge and personality, as big as Mike Moshier was, and do it justice? And that's the thing you and I were struggling with the first time we were up there. How are we supposed to do that? And Scott came up to us, and he told us one thing. He says, "Don't try to be Mike Moshier. beat Corey and Mike.
Yeah.
Well, you cannot be Mike Moshier.
No,
that's like saying
no.
That's like saying you're going to be Michael Jordan. It ain't going to happen. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But this race means so much to everybody down there. The Mike Moshier Classic has become an instant highlight of the season for you guys, Mike. It's arguably the most prestigious race for these drivers. Very unique in the sense that I don't care what class you're in, they take the tops off.
Yep.
They take the tops off the mods, the sport mods, the hobby stocks. I mean, it's cool. It's old school top off. You can see the driver. Love it.
One more thing about Mike Moshier is there's that saying that goes around, often imitated, never duplicated.
100%.
That 100% is him. We can all say his Mosierisms. We can all, holy guacamole and all that stuff. It's one thing to be able to do it. It's like Vin Scully and some of the other famous, Harry Carey and those guys. You can be up there, but you're never going to be there.
Right. Give us some of the highlights, Mike. Let's talk about some of the things that stood out for you there at that Mike Moshier, and let's talk about some of the winners.
You just commented on the biggest highlight. IMCA made it mandatory that the Northern Sport Mods and the Modifieds are topless. The only time IMCA makes it mandatory at any racetrack. That just tells you how much Mike Moshier meant to IMCA.
Yeah.
It's an exception for him. So, we had 4 classes. We had American stocks, hobby stocks, IMCA modifieds, and IMCA sport mods. The American stocks, we'll start off with those guys because they're the Bang Energy Drink American stocks, sponsored by Bang Energy Drink. Those guys, we started off with 21 American stocks. Now, these are Monte Carlos, Cadillacs.
He's not joking when he says Cadillacs, truly. They're in the class. Wow.
Yeah, the big cars. And we started off with 21 of them. And the winner of that group was Dakota Brown in the 15D.
Okay, no surprise.
Yeah, he started inside row number 2, but it took him till late in the race to get up there. He fell back early. Second place was Steve Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
This is the father of Nicholas Johnson, Cody Johnson, those guys. The old man.
Very
talented.
talented.
The family got together and bought his car back so he can run for the rest of the season.
Wow.
Because he was done. He's like, I'm done. I'm not going to run no more. It's the next generation's turn. I'll help them out. And all the family pitched in and bought the car back for him.
Oh,
and he runs second at the Mike Moshier. Fantastic.
Right on.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and then Daryl Mueller in the 24D finished third. We'll call her the biggest mover of the race. Miranda Scott. This is Wayne Dotson's daughter. Ethan Dotson's sister started 13th and finished 4th.
Good run.
Way.
Good
right
run.
on.
Yeah, she's a solid driver. I mean, absolutely solid as they come. And was able to drive up there and get a top 5 out of it.
Very cool.
And then rounding out the top 5 was James Kuntz. He started 11th.
Good run for him.
It was great runs. I mean, we had some, unfortunate crashes early. We had some breaks. Cars that just they didn't last the whole race. Some of them were.
It's the Mike Moshier. People are going to get everything.
Issues. Oh yeah. One of the things that somebody told me, when it comes to big races like the Mike Moshier, you take your wine glass that is full of talent, you tip it upside down, and you put a marble full of patience on the top of it. You tell me which one overfills first.
Right. Yeah.
And I didn't think about it, and then I got home and I looked at the wine glass and I looked at the marble, and I'm like, okay, I get it now. Your patience, if you don't keep it all centered, your patients are going to overspill, and it's going to be bad. And that's what happens. Some guys and girls, they try to overdo it to win instead of keeping within their realm, and it happens. But yeah, I
now for the listeners listeners that don't know a lot about the particular division you're talking about, Mike, you said these are the Monte Carlos, these are the Cadillacs, you get like I think I saw a Dodge Aspen when I was down there. I mean, these are big, heavy, what some people would call street stocks. They're on DOT tires, guys. These are street legal DOT tires they have to run in this division, and these boys drive these cars. I mean, it is so you'll see it at the Bud Nationals. It is so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
Along with the hobby stocks.
17 feet long on 7-inch wide rubber.
With a whole bunch of motor.
Yes.
I love watching that class. Let's go into the hobby stocks.
Giant tugboats on ice skates.
Yeah, no kidding.
But, it was a great run. Dakota, him and his family have grown up with Mike Moshier. And Dakota was, eyes balling because of it. But that's what Mike Moshier meant to a lot of people in Bakersfield, and he was like, I've been trying to win this one. I'm 2 for 2. I'm back to back with it now, and and you get a specialty trophy here. It's not your regular run of the mill trophy. You get a custom one-off trophy that has an oil rig in the back with an old-school microphone.
It's one of the coolest trophies I've ever seen. Bakersfield, known for the oil fields, where the racetrack is located in Oildale. Mike, being the announcer, they actually put both. They put an oil rig and a microphone on the trophy, and it's very cool. Mike, if you have a picture of that trophy, go ahead and post it on Moxie Media Promotions so people can see what we're talking about. It's great.
Yeah, I'll go back through to my Bakersfield Speedway pictures and get it and post it up there.
It's a great trophy.
Oh, yeah, and it's not light. I picked one up. They're not light.
What happened in the hobby stock division?
Hobby stocks, we started off with 20 cars in that one. And there was a lot of there's a lot of racing. People were racing for different things in this race. We'll put it that way.
At least still trying to be nice.
Some people were racing for the
Points.
Mike Moshier. Well, everybody's racing for the Mike Moshier trophy.
Mm-hmm.
But some people had things that they had to fall back on, like track points, rookie of the year points, et cetera, et cetera. Well, one guy who's just coming out there to win races, and that is Raymond Nolan Jr. in the number 5, started third, which seemed like the magical thing for the American stocks and hobby stocks is if you start third, you're going to win because both people who started third won the race.
Well, he's no slouch in that division either. He's always one of the guys you're going to race for the win down there with.
Now, second place, this guy started 11th. He is also now the current points leader at the track in this division. He was second going in. That's 99 of the Need for Speed, Don Mead.
Don Mead. You'll see him at the Bud Nationals.
Yes, you will. And it's crazy because he had to drive through a lot of calamity to get up to the front.
Not in the hobby stocks.
Oh, yeah. The hobby stocks. Sponsored by Ping Pong International. That's what it is. It's these guys, they race. This is a division where, you're moving up from an American stock to something a little faster, a little more adjustability, which means more things can go wrong. When you're in an American stock, there's only so much you can fix. The rest comes down to driving. Here, there's a lot of things you can fix, which means there's a lot of things you can mess up.